I'd like to call to order the Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency meeting for May 7th, 7 p.m. Can we have Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Excuse me. In case of emergency, you can exit the room for the back door and away from the building, or the door to my left, down the stairs and away from the building. Roll call.
Donna Corbin Sabinsky.
Here.
Kevin Zorda.
Here.
Virginia Higley here. Kelly Hemler.
Here.
Dylan Bridge.
Here.
Nancy Martin.
Here.
Ann Collins, absent. Chris Renaud.
Here.
And Ken Kaufman.
Okay, I'm going to seat Chris, because we've had Ken seated a couple times. Next is public communication and petitions. Is there anybody who wants to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Doesn't look like it. Anybody want to speak on items not on the agenda? We'll move forward. Correspondence. So we did get the civic clerk training documentation in the email from Sandra Barone. I said that right? Sorry. And then we also got one in our packets. So thank you very much for that information. And I also did forward everybody, I don't know if anybody got it, was an email on the April 19th from the Connecticut Association of Conservation Inland Wetlands Commission regarding 5475, an act concerning the development of housing challenges to certain decisions of municipal agencies and the conversion of vacant nursing homes into multifamily homes. Could have an impact on us. We could discuss that later if we wish. Okay. Next is minutes from the previous meeting of April 16th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Whoops. Jenny and Kelly. Kelly seconded it. Any discussion?
I have a few changes I'd like to add. So on page 3, and it's only because it seems to be very abridged and doesn't give the spirit of what we actually wanted, where it says maps are shared highlighting specific points of interest, including an area, removal of debris, and the vernal pool. It almost looks like we want to remove the vernal pool, so I want to put in there to be created, the vernal pool to be created. The second change, where it says herbicide use was discussed, and I'd like to add, and none will be used. And then the third one is there will be 1.5 acres targeted for invasive species removal by manual methods. Thank you.
Any other discussions?
Second.
Donna Corbin Sabinsky.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Do the alternates vote?
Chris.
Chris Renaud.
I'll abstain.
Abstain. Okay, we have 6 in favor, 1 abstain, motion passes. Next is the town attorney report dated April 26 from the town attorney, listing the items in litigation. And I do have a question on that. Do you think we could ask to have him put on there just a little note that Yankee Candle is being, I know he's not dealing with it, but if we could just.
Yankee Casting.
Yankee Casting, yeah.
Right, so we did refer that down to town attorney, and it came back to us to work with Deep. So that's, we're working with the state now.
Yeah, could we just put it on there as a little note, though?
I
So
can
we
ask
don't-
him.
So we don't lose it, that's all.
Sure, I have it on my notes as well.
Yeah, because it's been ongoing for quite a while. Next is continued public hearings. We have none. New public hearings, none. Old business, none. New business. IW 699, 75 Oliver Road. Application for a wetland permit for the development of a single-family home. Huron Homes LLC applicant, Town of Enfield owner, map 47, lot 63, R44 zone. Hi. Could you state your name and addresses for the record?
I assume this is on?
Yeah.
My name is Richard Case, an attorney from Avon, Connecticut, 10 Tower Lane in Avon. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
My name is Richard Case. I'm an attorney from Avon, Connecticut, 10 Tower Lane in Avon. I've appeared before this commission before about a year and a half ago. I'm here representing Heron Homes, who is the prospective purchaser of the property from the town of Enfield. And the property that's involved is on 75 Oliver Road at the approximate intersection with Post Office Road. And rather than hear from me, with me is Reese Geddes of ASAP Engineering, and also our the soil scientist could not attend because he's involved in something down along the shore, but he would be able to be on the by virtue of I don't know whether that's Zoom or whatever, but he virtually can attend. And without further ado, I'll have Mr. Geddes present the application.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name's Reese. Thank you for hearing us today. In subject to 75 Oliver Road, Enfield, we worked with Heron Homes LLC on many projects before. This one in particular has wetlands involved. Our site plan shows existing conditions, site plan, erosion control details, site details, pretty comprehensive package for you to take a look at. We believe everything on the plan is the best route, along with our wetlands narrative that we prepared is the best route for this project. I can provide a brief summary, but other than that, I believe the application speaks for itself. Thank you. Okay. So, ASAP Engineering and Surveying LLC, in collaboration with Heron Homes LLC, presents a comprehensive plan for the construction of a single-family residence on a 2.9-acre parcel located at 75 Oliver Road, Enfield, Connecticut. The project site, predominantly consisting of wooded wetlands areas, is strategically positioned within the town's zone R44, surrounded by residential areas. The key highlights, site description. The undeveloped site enjoys frontage along Oliver Road and will have access to municipal water, sanitary sewer, and gas connections. Wetland delineations conducted by soil and wetland scientist Matthew Davison identified wetland and upland soils on the site. For construction planning, the proposed residence will adhere to local zoning setbacks and be located in the upland review area to minimize impacts on wetland zones. A bituminous concrete driveway with a perpendicular pipe crossing beneath for a water passage is proposed to ensure proper access. For stormwater management, to maintain pre-development hydrology and minimize flood risk, stormwater management measures have been carefully integrated into the design. Water flow from the construction site will be directed towards the western wooded wetland area, preserving existing ponded areas. For the regulated activities, the project entails various regulated activities within wetland and upland review areas, including construction entrance, establishment, grading, excavation, surface water controls, and slope stabilization. Erosion and sediment control measures, such as erosion blankets and perimeter filters, will be implemented to minimize adverse effects. For environmental protection, the selected plan aims to protect ecological resources on the property with proper implementation expected to result in minimal adverse hydraulic impacts on adjacent or downstream properties or drainage facilities. This project site plan and existing land survey prepared by our company, ASAP Engineering and Surveying LLC, provided detailed insights into the proposed development with a focus on environmental stewardship and regulatory compliance. The project seeks to deliver a sustainable and harmonious addition to the local community. Thank you.
Good evening. So my staff report, offers a brief history of the subdivision from when the lot was created. I tried to incorporate as much detail as possible to limit the need for copies, but if you would like anything, please let me know. This is for the development of a single-family home, as the applicant has stated, showing the best alternative for the site to reduce the most wetlands disturbances and direct impacts as necessary. They have a wetland soil scientist, Matthew Davison, who is here with us tonight via Teams to address any wetlands questions the commission may have. They're proposing E&S controls, and the applicant has obtained a proper engineer for impacts and disturbances for stormwater runoff. And I just want to update the commission. My last staff comments were April 30th. All departmental comments have been completed and satisfied. The only note I had was to include that land record filing number on the plan when the lot line reconfiguration happened between 90 Post Office and 75 Oliver in 2021. And other than that, that is all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
I was wondering if they could bring up like the site plan or, I drove by it, 3 times, but, you know, there's a lot of trees and stuff. I was kind of wondering where the wetlands are, where to get the house and the driveway.
If you give me one moment, I believe I can share my screen on Teams.
You look at sheet 2 of 4.
Yeah, sheet 2 of what I was going to say.
We can share.
So Rich, I'll hold it. I'll hold it with you.
You have one down at this end of that?
Oh, yeah.
This is the Oliver.
Yeah, it's this one.
So don't get confused with the, hang on a second.
Yes.
With the 90 Post Office lot being shown on the plan, he purchased that property. That was part of the original stipulation, one of the original Longy lots, which does not have to come before wetlands for approval. It's just a building permit. This one is specifically for 75 Oliver, which shows the crosshatch layer, and you can see the wetlands flags within the site plan. Let me just pull up this plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So it's right through the wetlands. There's a lot of trees and brush and stuff that you're gonna take down, I'm guessing.
Well, the only tree cutting that's going to, as I understand, is going to occur is to create the sight line to post,
For the road?
to the post. That is the only tree cut. Because if you look at Oliver Road, you have to have a certain distance.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's easier for me. Do you mind if I?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, don't fall.
What we did is, this is just our own marking. The yellow is to show the areas that are the upland.
Right,
And that was, we did that.
yeah,
But the only tree cutting is this area here, and that's to create the sight line.
okay. So that there wasn't trees and
This is
stuff?
basically clear, correct? The area.
For the record, Reinhard von Hollander, Heron Homes, 14 Brainerd, West Hartford, Connecticut.
Thank you. Could you guys see, or you wanna?
Basically.
So the entire site, for the most part, is grown, currently grown, I would say, 6-inch
Yeah.
diameters, some bigger diameters in there.
I don't know where it is.
In this area is going to be the sight line clearing that we're going to do. For the most part, this is just going to be, you know, at the squiggly line here.
Yeah.
We'll just call it the squiggly line. That's a clear limit
Yeah,
on both sides, and the clear limit here.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest of it's going to remain in its current condition.
trees and all that, that's what I was wondering, because
It's gonna
it
remain
is kind of
natural.
wet and stuff, so I
It's
was,
going to remain natural.
And
Yeah.
then most of the site, this is all wetlands and the trees are staying.
yeah.
Nothing's
This,
been touched.
we don't own that, so that's.
That's all I was trying to,
This is
like,
the farm?
I don't even, the
yeah, there's a
history
farm
way
when you go
back,
past
yeah.
it, there's a farm right here, horses.
As you come down Oliver Road, because I
That's-
came in tonight to take a look at the site, I
Yeah.
have been on Post Office Road. There's a farm
Yeah.
that's
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 approximately.
way back.
Yeah, it's over here
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep, it's up in this area.
Yeah. Yeah, because I drove by and I said, oh, I wonder where it's going. It's kind of hard to tell.
So, the radius of the road, and then it
Yeah.
comes up there, and then it comes in here. You can make it out if you really look, like from being on the site multiple times.
Well-
And of course, I own this site as well, so.
Yeah, okay.
You can see it.
Let me, can you get rid of that broadcast thing with the mouse in front of you?
Oh, okay.
Just,
This might be easier to see. I don't mind leaving it up if you want me to. You got one? Okay.
Yeah, but thank you. There you go. Yeah, oops,
Very wet.
yeah.
It's all wet.
This is all wet, yeah,
It's
yeah.
all drainage.
Yeah, yeah.
From the farm.
so the wetlands are flagged. You can kind of see them right here. And then they distribute throughout the site over here. So this is all upland that they'll be developing in. Then the next page, if I can get it to work. There we go. So you can see the access will be on Oliver. They'll be coming into the site. They're only doing this amount of work on the property to build the single-family home in the back.
So this part is probably going to be the yard.
Oh, it's to here. This is the clearing.
Oh, yeah. So these are wetlands.
Yeah.
From previous conversations with this applicant, because they've been working on this site for quite a long time, it was believed that this was the most suited way to do the development of the home without impacting more wetlands on the property.
How's your storm management going to be? How's the stormwater management going to be for the house?
Yeah, so they're underneath the driveway coming in. Most of the slopage will be towards the front of the property where most of the water flow would to the front of the property where there's that pipe crossing. So it'll get to that western side, no problem.
So my concern is the calculation of this, the pipe. I drive by this frequently, and I've actually noticed that the water, there's year-round water at the farm site. And this drains right through this front yard here, so I assume that's why you're putting this pipe in here.
Yes. And
So my concern is in a flood situation, what is that gonna be able to handle? 12-inch doesn't seem like it's gonna be able to handle a lot of water coming through there.
Yes.
And I don't want the farmer's property to be flooded.
Yeah, most definitely. The original subdivision plan that was done also showed a driveway crossing with the proposed house plan. And there was a crossing pipe as well that was spec'd to be 12 inches. However, if the commission believes we can go, if they want to go bigger, we can go bigger. It's not an issue. The grade allows us to go with a bigger pipe if necessary.
Well, what kind of calculations did you do? What can this handle? Can this handle a 100-year flood?
We're not in the 100-year flood zone where we are. However, we can definitely provide calculations to show what it can handle. There's not on the plan.
I
at the
think the
moment.
question was, what will a 12-inch,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what will a 12-inch handle?
yeah.
A 50-year, 25, 50?
Yeah, no, it can definitely handle a 50-year flood, and it very well could handle a 100 flood year without an exact site investigation of how the
Right,
pipe.
right, that's what-
When the pipes put in, we as-built the pipe, so we'll be able to do site investigations to ensure that it will withstand all the water that is flowing, and at that time, we also will present as-built.
I noticed that engineering is still looking at it, so.
No,
She
it's
said it was all set.
our
It's all set.
assistant
So
town.
if they've looked at it
Yep.
and they don't have any concerns,
He's
Perhaps
reviewed.
it's adequate.
Yeah, he's reviewed the stormwater design for the plans, and he's had no comments or issues with the pipe design or the utility connections.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
Hey.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go against him. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay, just, I literally drove by this yesterday and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of water there.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
there
this will make you feel a bit more comfortable or not, but they'll have to go through the building permit process.
All right,
And when
true.
they go through building permit process, once that permit is issued and they go through construction, we have a pre-construction meeting with them. If any bonds are required, that has to be satisfied. And then we do the post-process of the building permits where they have to apply for COs. And if there are issues with the site not being complete, then we go after them to make revisions in the field.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Now, part of the yard and stuff is gonna be wetlands, right over here. And I know on the historical area for this was they had, the last wetlands people, when they reviewed this whole subdivision, they had some, like you couldn't dispose of leaves and grass clippings and brush or other lawn stuff or grading or filling in the wetlands. So is that possible? We could,
You can do whatever we want.
yeah, do some kind of sign or something to say, these are the wetland areas, please
Put it in the conditions. of
put in the
approval.
conditions. So I know it's part of their yard, but you don't
Yeah,
want to.
if you provide us with placards, we'd be happy to put them up on the edge. I've done that in different towns, delineating the.
Like where the wetlands are, so they don't.
Yeah, just they typically have a
Little
metal
sign or
placard, and it goes on a metal stake, and that sort of follows the pattern of the delineation.
So we don't have placards for wetlands, we have placards for conservation easements, but if the commission and the applicant are okay with it, then the environmental sensitive signage could be a condition of approval.
Yeah,
Yeah. And no snow piling. You know, I'm sure they're going to plow the driveway once in a while.
yeah, we just don't want them putting their grass clippings in that swale, and messing that up.
Okay.
So environmental, so this is number 1,
Yeah.
site specific. Environmental sensitive sign.
Yeah. And they did have another one under erosion controls under your notes. That the silt fencing around excessive material storage piles, biodegradable erosion mats around the site, and a riprap apron should be clarified if the excessive materials are soils, stockpile.
Yeah,
or
the
other.
plans just said excess material storage, so I wasn't sure if that meant soil stockpiling or tree debris. I just figured further clarification should be supplied to you from the applicant about what those piles are.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Temporary construction, which most likely would just be topsoil, and then they would be ringed out or stabilized by, or retained, excuse me, with straw wattle. I think that's the preference. Right. Yeah, straw wattle versus erosion control. Just we're starting to come to find that that's much more efficient than erosion control.
Anybody else have any concerns or discussions or anything?
I think all of our concerns have been addressed by the applicant.
Yeah. All right, I will make a motion to approve IW number 677, 92 Post Office Road application for a wetlands permit for the development of a single-family home, Huron Homes LLC, applicant, Town of Enfield, owner, map 47, lot 63, R44 zone, with the following site-specific conditions. Number 1, the missing land records filing volume 0270, page 0034 on the plan under note 10A for the 2021 lot line reconfiguration should be added to the final plans. Number 2, environmental sensitive signage shall be installed along the wetland boundary.
Second.
Yeah, correction.
Yeah, I
It's
was going to say,
699.
I was thinking, I read that 677, but
Say, wait a
it's
minute.
699. So amend that to IW number 699.
Second.
I think Dylan.
Oh, we already have a second. Okay.
Yeah, I think Dylan
That's fine.
seconded it, yeah. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we have Kevin and then Dylan seconded it. Any discussion, further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Donna Corbin Sabinsky.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Chris Renault.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yep.
Glad you see you made it here okay with the traffic jams in town. Thank you. Have a good night. We'll pick up their stuff. Thank you. Next on the agenda is enforcement reports.
No enforcement reports to be noted for tonight. We are in conversation with Deep about Yankee castings. We're slowly moving it on up on the line. Just progress has been a little bit slow because Deep is a little bit slow to respond to us, but we've been pushing. And Rick will be out of our office until early mid-ish June, just on medical leave. He's fine. So if any enforcements come in, we've been trying to cover in his place as needed.
Thank you. Good luck to Rick.
Yeah.
Next is planning staff.
The only report I have is congratulations, you have finished your 600 era applications, and we're moving on to the 700
Yes.
years. So, and that is all I had.
Okay. So next is our applications to be received. IW 700, 14 Cranbrook Drive Boulevard. Wetland application for the site remediation to correct a violation. Sam and Zach LLC owners, applicant. Map 56, Lot 33, BL Zone. IW 701, 118 Raffia Road, application for a wetland permit for a shed within the regulated area. Frank Pizzo, applicant owner. Map 67, Lot 1, R33. IW 702, 17 and 21 Elm Street, application for a wetland permit for the development of a single-family home. Chelsea Aiken, applicant owner, map 80, lot 149, R33 zone.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, for some reason that is a mistake. 17 and 21 Elm Street. The description you just read was for 14 West Shore Drive. 17 and 21 Elm is the property right across the street down here on Elm Street. They're going to demolish those single-family homes and do a retail plaza.
Okay,
Yes, commercial development. That sounds better.
all right.
That's Frank Tran.
That's right, I read it on the application, but I didn't. Yeah, thank you for catching that. It was a little confusing, yep, as I'm reading it. Okay,
And then 703.
703 is West Shore Drive.
Yeah, you didn't read.
Okay, the application for a wetland permit for new construction, single-family home. Chelsea Aiken, applicant owner, map 80, lot 149, R33 zone, LOD. Okay, we made it through.
Yep.
Miscellaneous. I just want to remind everybody about the public access petition meeting on the 16th, May 16th. So we received the directions at the last meeting how to get into it. So it's going to be May 16th if you want to listen in. Did anybody want to talk about the email from Janice? I was trying to see if that 5475 is for the act concerning the development of housing challenges to certain decisions on municipal agencies and the conversion of vacant nursing homes into multifamily.
I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar. I don't think I
Hasn't
got that
gotten
email.
through yet, has it?
I don't know what you're referencing.
Well, what they're going to do, they want to pass this act.
Oh, for legislation.
Legislation.
legislation wants to do it, and somebody asked if we could send a note along for us. So Section 3 of the bill will permit municipalities to adopt an ordinance to allow development in certain areas of town without the review of the wetland agencies. So it will bypass us certain areas if this goes through.
What was the House bill number, or, so I can look it up? real
It's
quick?
Kissel had something to do with
5475.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it- Well, I emailed it to you. I emailed it to you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I read that.
And somebody asked if we could talk about it. And the other thing it says is, without the benefit of the inland wetlands, historical experience has shown the new development can contribute to flooding and stormwater damage for degraded wetlands and watercourses, which we must avoid as we work to build climate change resiliency throughout our state. Section 1 of the bill will eliminate the ability of local government, commissions, utilities, conservation, environmental organizations, environmental justice groups, and most residents to intervene in the administration procedure. Both sections will roll back 5 decades of environmental protection.
I think the real issue is taking local control out.
This, I think, yeah.
And I think that's a huge mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen it with solar.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
yeah.
So are you saying you want to compose a statement from our agency to send to them?
That's what, I don't know who it was. When I sent
So-
it out, somebody replied back, so they'd like to do a group.
So these House bills, the Connecticut APA Association, which is the American Planning Association for our state, we have a legislative committee, which I'm recently a part of, and they either write letters for support or against certain House bills that come into play. And the letters, because I'm remembering now as you talk about it, the letters recently that have been posted have been in denial of losing the local wetlands jurisdiction. So if you would like, tomorrow morning, I can find the testimony website that shows you who has submitted documents for the bill, whether or not to have legislation approve it or not. And if you would like to discuss it at the next meeting or hold a special meeting, depending on the deadline for testimony comments, to discuss it further and possibly submit a letter, then we can definitely explore that option as well.
Well, here's the problem. The session closes tomorrow.
Yes.
So I think what we need, what's the HB number?
5475.
Because it's possible that it's dead, and then we don't, but it'll probably come back next time. Let me see if I can find it.
So if that's the case, I'm not sure what we can do tonight or tomorrow. Depends on the time that it closes, because I don't know how fast I can get a letter out to them. Yeah, and I'm not sure what type of. Yeah, you could definitely do it individually if you wanted
Usually
to.
have special sessions.
You could even designate a commissioner from your agency to do it if you'd like. What I've had similar things done with the Agricultural and the Conservation Commission, where they designate one member to write a letter, and then they email it out to the rest of the commission for a quick review before submitting it to wherever it needs to be submitted to. Just an option.
Well, Janet created, I think, a good one.
If it's ending tomorrow, though.
Yeah, right.
Kind of doesn't do us a lot of good. Did you find it?
I found it, but I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I was trying
If
to figure
it's-
out where it was.
It looks like the last time anybody did anything in the bill history was April 10th. So unless it could be dead. So unless they bring it up between now and tomorrow at midnight, we're probably safe.
Okay, we'll just have to watch it.
Yes.
I do remember that our organizations for planning and zoning were not in support of that. That includes our Casio membership, which does all the certifications for the Connecticut zoning officials, and our legislative committee on APA.
All right, let's, if it comes out again,
I'm sure it will.
yeah.
I noticed in Casio, the last time we went to the dinner, they were talking about the possibility of having inland wetlands do study credits like planning and zoning. And
Yep.
do you know what happened to that?
I think that's still also pending. The last discussion I remember was a pending House bill for wetlands training for all wetlands agents. A little bit different than what planning and zoning Board of Appeals requires now, but something along the lines to help with education for our wetlands agencies.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, anybody have anything else? Motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Who said that?
Second.
Nancy and Ginny seconded?
Yeah.
It is
34.
7:34. All in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.